All right, ladies and gentlemen. So now we are going to move on to our wire sculptures. So now that your plan has been approved, we are now moving on to the wire. Now this is an older version of the sculpture. You're going to see my final by the time you're done. But right now, this kind of gives you an idea of how we're going to structure this. We're going to have, you can see the white wire is like a skeleton, and then there's a black wire. Let me get this up nice and up close. See, the white wire is your skeleton, and the black wire is going to be what makes it look human. And then we're going to put something, whether it's tissue paper like this one is, on top to kind of give it that form of a human. So the first step is to take your white wire, and you want to cut pieces off of the ring about an arm's width so that you have an easy piece to work with. But you don't want to cut it too short, because then if it's too short, you're going to have to, you can measure, as my dad always said when cutting things, measure twice, cut once. Because once you cut your wire, we can't use it anymore. So what you're going to do is start with your head, just like we started everything else with your head. You're going to start with your head. Now, I didn't show you this. See the wire cutters? You can use them to, and I'm going to cut a little tiny piece off. So you can use them to cut the wire. There are also other kinds of tools that you can use to bend the wire. So if I'm having trouble doing this with my fingers, you can always hold it with a tool and kind of use that. I find it a little easier to work with my fingers. But once you got a shape that's about the kind of size of your head, you want to check it. You want to check it on both views. And then what you want to do, and here's where you might want to use the wire, the pliers, is you want to twist it. So you're going to twist it a little bit. And this is why you want your wire about arm's length, so you're not dealing with too much wire at a time. You're going to twist it, and see how I kind of twisted it about a quarter of the way around? Because then I'm going to twist it around this way, so that I'm kind of making a three-dimensional head that is about the right size for my head. Now some of this is a little easier said than done, and you might need to play with it a little bit. You're seeing even I'm playing with it a little bit to kind of twist it and get it the right shape. If it's not perfectly the right shape, that's okay. Your black wire will help, but you want to kind of keep it the right size. This is getting a little too big, so I'm going to pull that over. Sorry. There we go. That's better. And then I make sure you keep using your sculpture or your plan so that your head doesn't start getting too big. If you bend the wire too much, it will break. So you want to kind of try to keep it as soft as possible with as few bends in it as possible. Then once you've got this kind of around, I can go through. See how I just went through? I need to tighten it a little bit more. And then I'm going to cut off. And now notice I'm not cutting off here. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a tail. Part of the reason for this tail is we're going to use part of this tail to tighten and go around this one more time. And then we're going to use the rest of this tail to connect this body part to another body part. We're going to connect the head to the body. Okay? So you're going to do the same thing for the head and for the body. So this step, and you want to make sure you're getting both this all checked off. So you're going to do your body. So see how I'm measuring right around. And then I twist. So I've got my body shape. And then I've got to kind of get this. Actually, I got to get this guy back over here. So I got to twist it to the center. And then I'm going to look at, okay, if I stick this over here, this is going to bend in like that. It's going to bend out like that. It's going to go here, twist, I'm looking at that, and then it's going to go back up like this. Okay, and then I'm going to twist it. So this is step 1 with the wire, and truthfully with this little bit that's left, I'm just going to leave it because I might need it later. So leaving little tails is okay. Don't cut them off yet. If we don't use them, there'll be a step later on that will get rid of them and cut them off. But leave them on right now because it's always good to have a couple little pieces of wire. So step 1 is to make your head 3-dimensional, make your body 3-dimensional.